Hello, Mr. Sean Gardner.
How are you?
What do you enjoy most about being a marketer, especially in social marketing?
What I enjoy most about marketing and just really the connecting of connecting to people. One of the great things that I like to do, either with World Communication Forum, I'm Vice President of Digital Media for the WorldCom Forum in Switzerland, but also I do content marketing and content creation for a bank in Seattle. And I like digital marketing for the creativity. You know, it's like you're creating something, but then you're figuring out what groups, what demographics to reach out to. And then the other thing too that about digital, and not just digital marketing, but just digital itself allows you that direct, free line to individuals. So before digital, there are people who might have called up a business and said, hey, I want to know, can I talk to Sean Gardner? Or whatever the person's name is, and the next thing you know, they were denied by like a gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can't talk. But digital totally breaks all of that down. It dissolves that and really builds transparency. I think definitely that's what people really appreciate it. But yes, the direct line is what I like most. Creating and then shooting that out directly to people who you know can benefit from it and who would be informed by it.
What is the benefit of digital marketing, and how it is important for a company to have a policy of digital marketing?
Yeah, I think it's important that, well, the policy definitely is important because digital is the world's #1 communication tool. You know, social media, messaging apps, and young people, those typically, you know, younger than 35 and younger, really want you to communicate with them through digital. So if you're a business and you say, okay, email marketing is much more effective, and it is at selling, much more effective. Studies show this. Don't give up email marketing, just adopt digital as a particular tool. So you use digital marketing, you can communicate with people, you then get the emails from people, and then what that does is it strengthens your email marketing, which you can use to send out newsletters, all of those kinds of things, you know, not just for the products that you have, but also for your vision, you know, where you're going, where you're taking the company. People want to know how people are benefiting from this. And just every single thing that you can even conceivably think about a company. People would really like to know that. So use your newsletters on a monthly basis to give people a good sense of who you are. Tell that story, and digital marketing can really help people that way.
How you look at Mongolia marketing situation or the trends, and if so, could you give us a recommendation or? Yeah,
well, Mongolia is very interesting because, you know, mining is very big from what I understand, and then also oil, you know, and then I know I think a fourth, I think of Mongolia is, I think they are herders, you see, so you have a nomadic life, and then also the agricultural aspect. So I think if you put all that together, take maybe the nomadic and the agricultural thing off the table for a second. There are lots of ways in which an oil company, a mining company, or any company can really use social media. Not just simply to say, here is what we're doing, here's how much money we made, but you can also give people a good sense of, again, the character of it. So take, for example, a company like General Electric, based in the United States. All about electricity, you know, power, the alternative means of power. So what General Electric does with their Instagram, which is so amazing, is they do interviews with individuals. They may take a nice black and white shot or a good epic shot of maybe a plane or something that, you know, that their engineers made or that their engineers might have come up with. I like that. I really like that. That's getting as what they call granular. So what I say literally is to use everything. Twitter, Facebook are very big here, but I think also Instagram allows for a kind of creativity that could allow people to really get away from, again, the humdrum or what you would expect a business to say, our rates are this, here's how much money we made, we want your business. No, tell that story. And you can tell a story without actually even any words. That's what Instagram allows. So if you have hills here and you have statues and you have these really big historical landmarks, there are so many great stories that a business, an individual, even your site can use to really sort of tie you guys to that. And then, so almost in a way, you're giving people a good sense of your business, but also tying your business to the heritage and the identity of the company, if that makes sense.
Okay, so what kind of contents should be companies share or post in order to have more likes on social media?
Sure. Well, even if it's likes and retweets and so forth, what people share, what people like to share, and what people like companies to share are infographics and charts. I share that. I love that. The other thing that people like are picture quotes or just simply pictures. So take Twitter, for example, or let's move back to Instagram. If I'm posting a picture of you, right, and let's say I'm posting this picture, rather than share it directly to Twitter, where when it shows up, it's only going to show words and a link, I want people to see exactly who you are, your face, everything. So I'm going to then upload the picture on Twitter and then put some words and then put the link. You see, so that more people will go to that link and those words, in that instance, as opposed to just simply sharing it directly to Twitter or Tumblr or any of that. So yes, pictures, picture quotes, because people want to be inspired. And two of the main reasons that people go online are definitely to connect with people in a very helpful way, but also to really be inspired. Inspiration definitely has a part in what people do and certainly what they want to do online with other people. So if you can represent that inspiration and information, sphere, then I think you're going to really get something great out of it. You have to be helpful. You have to come across as helpful, as compelling, all of those kinds of things in order to really have a really great presence. So.
In Mongolian condition, people tends to buy a thing that they touch or feel and see. Mm-hmm. But in digital marketing, it's different. You can just see from the websites or something.
Sure.
Yeah. So how to boost the confidence of the customers?
Yeah. What it may mean is that to do a bit of what we'll call offline, online marketing, right? So take, for example, in the United States, one of the things that I like to do is I like to put together events. So at these events, I'm teaching individuals how, say, a business owner might want to use Instagram for leads. A young person may want to use it to upgrade their selfie. It's like, yeah, that kind of thing. So you're bringing these two groups there together. I think that what may have to happen here, what can happen, is that if you are a business and you have a product, it may mean that putting on events, maybe at a school or at a building like this, where you bring your products there, or you try to market them. And I mean, not totally sell them, but you market them in a very creative way. But whenever you do events, bring some of what you have, to that event. That may be sort of I don't say a fix, but it may be a solution, because if they say, okay, wow, I got my hands on this doll, or I got my hands on this product, what else do they have? You see? So you can't always, you can't bring your whole store, but you can bring certain things. Make sure that whatever you're putting together is compelling and that it's awesome and that it has good speakers, experts in whatever it is, but make sure you have some stuff out also that people can maybe get their hands on if that's a problem. So.
Mm-hmm. So we talked a lot about the successful marketing, and how about the mistakes that the marketers do when they trying to conduct a successful digital content?
Sure. Well, look, one of the things you hear people say are best practices, right? They say, what are the best practices? And every industry has best practices. Like individuals will say things like, oh, well, don't use this hashtag in it, or maybe don't. You know, it's so interesting because it's different from country to country. What I tell people is this. I tell people, and I'm going to say this when I get up there today, I'm going to tell you guys what the best practices are for certain industries, but I will also tell you what I practice the best. You see? And I say that because you could try all these things, and you're tapping into best practices for banking, or best practices for, you know, like say a website, you know, a startup or whatever it may be. But then at the end of the day, you're spinning your wheels because maybe you're trying 100% of what the industry best practices are, but maybe only 9 of them may work. You know, or maybe 8 of them are working and 2 are not working. So you have to really look at it in terms of, and don't be afraid to change something, you know, a week later, a month later, you know, tinker it, do something like that. I think that's really a huge mistake, to just think that a one-size-fits-all approach is best for every business, because it's not. So don't be afraid, and like, I think the big mistake too is don't be afraid to make mistakes. No, really. I mean, I've made so many mistakes. You know, personally, running. Yeah, I've done social media for celebrities and for, you know, for businesses, and it is really it's a tough go. But you make mistakes and you get better.
Okay. Okay, so that's my interview is done.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.